Hey guys, welcome back, and in today's video I am doing my 2023 NFL free agency predictions. So I've got 29 different free agents. I might throw a 30th one here and for you guys at the end. I've got quite a few here I'm really excited to get into, but before I get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you are new. Let's have conversations down in the comment section. This is my list. It's going to be wrong. I'm not going to get all of these right. I'm fully aware of that. I just like to do these sorts of videos. Let me know what your list is down in the comment section below. We could go through, you guys can go through my list and tell me what you agree with, what you disagree with. Let's talk in the comment section. But without further ado, let's get into my list. I've got Orlando Brown Jr. going to the Washington Commanders. Now, the Commanders just got Eric Bieniemy from the Kansas City Chiefs, his former offensive coordinator. Surprisingly, the Chiefs did not franchise tag Orlando Brown, one of the better left tackles in football. Washington's a team that needs help on their offensive line. Doesn't look like they're going to use a first-round pick on it. There's been talks they might move right tackle Sam Cosmi over to guard. That means you can move Charles Leno over to your right tackle, move Cosmi in at guard, and then play Orlando Brown at left tackle, which is where he wants to play. He's said this a million times. He wants to play left tackle and only left tackle. Get some protection for Sam Howell, who looks like he's going to be your quarterback next year. And I really like this move. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I've got Orlando Brown as the newest commander. Javon Hargrave here. Really like this pickup for the Bears. The Bears need some help on the interior of their defensive line really badly. They were not good last year. They struggled against the run really bad. And Javon Hargrave, probably one of the best defensive players in free agency. Huge pickup here for them. They can kind of continue to rebuild that roster. They just had an incredible deal with the Carolina Panthers that really helped them on the offensive side of the ball. Now, probably in the draft and in trying to get my footing right, and the draft and in free agency, you look to improve that defensive line, that front seven, really important. I love Javon Hargrave to the Bears. C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Detroit Lions. This feels like really a good fit. Kirby Joseph was really good at the safety position last year, and you can add another guy. The Lions need help in their secondary. I think they are going to be active in free agency because right now, if Rodgers leaves the Packers and goes to the Jets, I think the Lions have the best team in the NFC North. Go add some help on that defensive side of the ball, and I like C.J. Gardner-Johnson here. Was at the top of the league in interceptions, would be massive for their secondary. James Bradbury to the Raiders. They need some help in their secondary as well. Jonathan Abrams has been fine, but their secondary has been really poor the last few years. James Bradbury is coming off a very solid season. The Raiders have a lot of money to go out and spend in free agency. I think Bradbury isn't going to come back to the Eagles, and I think the Raiders have a really good chance. Thought about the Cardinals back and forth. You could talk me into that, but ultimately I'm going to go with the Raiders. Jesse Bates to the Cleveland Browns. This one's a spicy one. Jesse Bates, one of the best players in free agency. Once again, going to leave the Bengals. There's going to be a lot of teams that I think would really like to go and get Jesse Bates, but I think Cleveland's the team that's going to end up doing it. They need some help at the safety position. John Johnson has been cut by the team. They've got cap space now after restructuring some contracts. Go get Jesse Bates, improve that secondary. They have some really nice pieces in this secondary already. Martin Emerson was really good. Denzel Ward. You've got good people in that secondary. Continue to keep a strength and go add Jesse Bates. Draymond Jones to the Atlanta Falcons fits their scheme really well. One of the better defensive linemen in free agency. I think he is a really good pickup for a Falcons team that needs help. Grady Jarrett is all they have on the defensive line. Yeah, they have some nice plays in the secondary. A.J. Terrell took a step back. I still think he's a good corner. Go get Draymond Jones. I think is a great pickup for them. Mike McGlinchey to the Jets. This one to me I think this one is going to happen. Jets need help on the offensive line. Mekhi Becton, never healthy. Elijah Vera Tucker is a really good player. He struggled with injuries. You need to shore up that offensive line for whoever's going to be throwing the ball next year. We saw injuries to Zach Wilson. We saw injuries to Mike White. Go and get Mike McGlinchey, one of the best offensive linemen in free agency, and protect Aaron Rodgers. Hasn't happened yet, but I fully believe Aaron Rodgers will be in a Green Bay or in a New York Jets uniform in just a couple of weeks. Zach Allen to the Houston Texans. They need some help on their defensive line. They had some decent play from the defensive line, but a lot of those guys are getting a lot older. Zach Allen coming off a career year with the Arizona Cardinals. And I think he would be a guy DeMeco Ryans would love to have. He loves to develop defensive guys. understands scheme pretty well. I like DeMeco Ryans to the Houston Texans. Jamel Dean is a guy who I really like. Probably the best cornerback in free agency in my opinion. I think he goes to the Atlanta Falcons. Imagine a duo of Jamel Dean and AJ Terrell in that secondary. That is very nice. I think that's a great pickup for them. They need some help adding a CB2. Terrell didn't have the most amazing year last year, but I still think he's a very good prospect, very good player. And I think the Falcons continue to address their defense in free agency. After trading DJ Moore, the Panthers need some help, and I think they go and get Jacoby Myers. There are rumors that he's going to go for like a Christian Kirk type contract. I don't see how, because I don't see the production really there, but New England didn't love to really get their receivers involved all that much. I think this would be a really fantastic pickup for the Panthers. Need a wide receiver one, go get Jacoby Myers, draft a guy at 39. That gives you two receivers with Terrace Marshall. You kind of got a nice duo there with your number one overall pick now. Really, really like this fit for the Carolina Panthers. I had this before the DJ Moore news, and I still have it after. I think it makes a ton of sense. I've got Jacoby Myers to the Panthers. Bobby Wagner is going to return home to the Seattle Seahawks. They need help at linebacker. Bobby Wagner was cut. It just makes too much sense. The storyline makes a lot of sense. GM has been in touch with them. There seems to be mutual interest in getting a deal done. I think this one is going to happen. I think the New York Giants are going to get Levante David. There seems to be interest from the Buccaneers that they want to bring Levante David back. Understandably so. He's one of the best Bucs defensive players of all time. I don't think they're going to be able to work out a contract, especially with the Bucs cap situation. And I think this is going to be a very interesting one. I have him going to the New York Giants to be a veteran presence on a really solid defense. They've got really good players on that defense, kind of really help solidify that defensive unit. I really like this for them, and I got him to the Giants. Odell Beckham Jr. finally going to sign with the Dallas Cowboys. It should have happened 5 times last year. They needed his help. He's still, I think, got it. I think he gives you 1 or 2 more really solid seasons. They need help at the receiver position. You got Gallup and Lamb. After that, you really don't have much. Odell looked pretty well in his workout he had for teams. Teams have been in touch with them. I think he is going to go to the Cowboys. Jordan Poyer to the Miami Dolphins. Now, I had this before the Jalen Ramsey news, and I'm not going to change anything because I still think this could happen. Jordan Poyer has said he wants to go to a state with no taxes. Florida. Perfect fit right off the bat. I think this one is a very interesting one because you have Javon Holland. That other safety position could be addressed, and I think Jordan Poyer could be your guy. Could you imagine a secondary of Jalen Ramsey, Jordan Poyer, Javon Holland, and Xavier Howard? That is a really, really good secondary. You got Bradley Chubb and Christian Wilkins. In Vic Fangio's defense, this could be a massive pickup for them. I'm still going with it. I think Jordan Poyer will be a Miami Dolphin. That's my prediction. Cameron Sutton to the Seattle Seahawks. Is cornerback a massive need for Seattle? No, I don't think it is. But Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, they had good seasons. You could use a veteran presence in there. And I think Cameron Sutton would be fantastic. Play Kobe Bryant in that slot corner. You've got Woolen, Sutton on the outside. This is a perfect pickup for them, and I don't think he's going to be as expensive as a Jamel Dean or different guys like that. Absolutely love this for the Seahawks. Chiefs are going to re-sign their guy, Juju Smith-Schuster. I think it makes sense. There's interest in getting a deal done. When he was healthy, he was their best receiver last season. I thought he was really good. Key in helping them win the Super Bowl. I've got Juju going back to Kansas City. The Bengals make their first appearance of the video, getting Dalton Schultz. I'm not sure what that NFLPA report's about. I need to do some more research in it. But they need a tight end. Hayden Hurst is a free agent. I don't think he's going to come back. And I think Dalton Schultz, best tight end free agent available. I think he fits very well in Cincinnati. A guy who I think Joe Burrow would just love. A guy who can catch passes in the middle of the field. I think it's a great pickup for them, and I'm going to go with it. Eric Kendricks to the Denver Broncos. Now, the Broncos have interest in Bobby Wagner, but I think Eric Kendricks might make a little bit more sense. Probably going to be cheaper than Bobby Wagner because Bobby Wagner is coming off a fantastic season with LA. And the Broncos just need some help on the defensive side of the ball. I think he's a guy Sean Payton would like to go out and target. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with Eric Kendricks to the Denver Broncos. The Detroit Lions go and get Tremaine Edmonds. They need some linebacker help. Edmonds is a fantastic player, one of the best players in free agency here. The Lions come away with him, Gardner Johnson, the 6th pick, the 18th pick, where they probably will address defense in both of those. This would be an incredible offseason for the Lions if they were able to snag these two. I've got Jimmy Garoppolo going to the Houston Texans. We've heard rumors that the Texans want to go out and get a veteran quarterback to kind of help with the young quarterback's development. Understandably so. Jimmy G is not going to be expensive. I don't think he is going to get a massive contract. Texans make a ton of sense. Follow DeMeco Ryans to Houston, kind of be there, be a mentor. Teammates absolutely love the guy. Now, if Jimmy G goes to Houston, what I'm going to be interested to see, does that mean they go defense with number 2? I would not be surprised if that ended up happening, but I do think Jimmy Garoppolo will be a Texan. I think it fits really well. I think he works well in that offense. So I'm going to go with Jimmy G to the Texans. Lamar Jackson. The Falcons are rumored to be out, as well as almost every team. Somebody is bluffing. Somebody is not telling the full truth, because this is a former MVP and the prime of his career. I know he's had injuries. I'm still going with the Falcons as the team to go get him, because they desperately need a quarterback. If you go in with Desmond Ridder week 1 starting, and you had a chance to go get Lamar Jackson, I think Falcons fans would be livid about that. But I think the Falcons are still going to go for it. This could backfire really bad. I have no idea what's going to happen with Lamar Jackson, but this is a prediction. I still think the Falcons are in it. I thought the Panthers could be in it, and it turned out they were not. They went and traded for number 1. I'm going to go with Lamar to Atlanta. If not, though, he's going to go back to Baltimore. I think he could go back one more year with Baltimore on the franchise tag and then go into unrestricted free agency next year. I think that could be in play, but ultimately, I'm going to say Falcons/Ravens. I can't pick one. Caleb McGarry to the Cincinnati Bengals. Great pickup. He was fantastic at left tackle for the Falcons. Play him at left tackle over Jonah Williams, who's been meh pretty much his whole career. Get Joe Burrow more protection. You went out and addressed tackle and O-line free agency last year. Go and do it again. Go get Caleb McGarry. Go continue to beef up this offensive line and protect Burrow, because you are this close from winning your first Super Bowl. I go get Caleb McGarry. Chicago Bears get Miles Sanders. I know there's rumors that David Montgomery wants to come back, or that they want to bring him back. Go get Miles Sanders. He's a much better running back. Just help the Eagles go to the Super Bowl. I think he's a fantastic fit for this offense. Helps Justin Fields, a team that wants to run the ball. If he goes there, he's going to have 1,200 yards if he can stay healthy. I've got Miles Sanders to the Bears. Speaking of David Montgomery, I've got him going to the Miami Dolphins, which after the Jalen Ramsey deal, I'm not really sure what their cap situation is looking like. They need a running back. I think they land him or Kareem Hunt. I think either of those guys would be great pickups for them. They need some running back help. You can't go in with Jeff Wilson and guys like that. Go get a running back that can be a really good player. Go for almost 1,000 yards. I think David Montgomery would be huge for this offense, and I'm going to go with him. Jacoby Brissett to the Raiders. I absolutely love this. Played with Josh McDaniels in New England for a few years. They're probably going to be in the veteran quarterback market. You can't go in with Jarrett Stidham, who is a free agent. They want to bring him back, sure. Go get Jarrett Stidham. Does he open your Super Bowl window? No. Jacoby Brissett's a well-respected guy around the league. I think the Raiders would just like to have him. I don't know if they draft quarterback this year or next year, what the deal is going to be there, but I'm going to go with Jacoby Brissett to the Raiders. I'm sorry, Bucs fans. I think you're going to get Carson Wentz. I know Baker Mayfield has been the rumor today. I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't have Baker Mayfield in this list. I got Carson Wentz. I would be so sad for Bucs fans. As you can see, I'm a Colts fan. Can't stand Carson Wentz. I think he's terrible, but I think someone's going to end up biting, making a quarterback competition there. Him and Kyle Trask probably competing for the worst quarterback room in the NFL. I think they would do it. Now, if Baker Mayfield was in play, I actually really like that, because I love Baker Mayfield, always have. I'm still going to support my guy. I think that's a good situation for him, but I'm going to go with the Buccaneers to get Carson Wentz. Taylor Lewan to the Kansas City Chiefs. He kind of hinted about this on Twitter. Going to leave the Titans. He's constantly injured, so I kind of wonder what his free agent market's even going to look like. Constantly injured, but if they lose Orlando Brown, go get a veteran replacement. Taylor Lewan makes a lot of sense. Jawan Taylor to the Chicago Bears. Absolutely love this for them. They could go left tackle in round 1 and then go put Jawan Taylor over at right tackle. You've got a completely different offensive line. This is a very improved offensive line, and I absolutely love this pickup for the Bears. And lastly, Adam Thielen to the Cleveland Browns. They're rumored to be interested in Thielen. Thielen wants to go play for a contender. Am I ready to call the Browns a contender? I'm not really sure what to think about the Browns yet. But if they can improve on that defensive line, which I think is priority number one, and add some more receivers for Watson, why can't they contend in the AFC? They got a good quarterback who's going to have a full offseason. I'm not really sure. I actually really like this fit for them. Pairing him, Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think that's a very formidable trio. If there is a player I missed, which I know I missed hundreds, comment down below. Where do you have player X going? I will answer your questions down in the comment section below. The tampering period will begin in about an hour after recording this. So we're going to start hearing some news. Stay tuned. I'm going to upload as many shorts as I possibly can. We're on that grind. I'm trying to hit 600 subscribers by the end of March. But that's going to do it for me in this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.